Sea wind. Kind of fun. I felt ambitious this morning. I flew this morning over at the community center, and I'm going to take a wee little flight out here at the beach today.
12.1 volts.
Kind of fun. It appears I didn't let my battery charge as high as I should have. Ooh, somebody got a nice new TV. 55 inch. Wow. Crazy. So, yeah. Got that going on.
12.1 volts.
A little fly. A little fly down at the lake. Look at all that pollen. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's make sure we got control surfaces. It looks like we do.
Throttle active.
Let's go for a fly. Oops. Let's bring her back.
11.8 volts.
You might as well get video if we're going to fly, huh? And it turns nicely in the water.
11.8 volts.
Yeah, it won't be a long fly.
Throttle hold.
This plane is so old that the plastic has turned colors. It's crazy. Crazy, I say. There we go. It's about 5 or 6 years old, 7 years old, I don't know. I've been at this for a while now. Figure I'd be better at it. Taking off. I mean, yeah, you've been at something that long.
11.2 volts.
Figure you get a little better at it, that's all I'm saying. I trust this plane so little that I put that camera on it that does JAGAWs from eBay, sold me with a bad battery, and
11.4 volts.
being a knockoff, a knockoff Mobius. It's funny, I wasn't really super mad at them. I depend on knockoffs, to be honest with you. But you use every tool you got.
11.3 volts.
Yeah, that's the balance point. You put it just past a certain point. It's funny because when I first flew this thing, oh my God, I had it nose heavy. It appears that with Dynam, you probably ought to go ahead and pay very close attention to what the CG is because, man, oh man,
11.4 volts.
it could end in tragedy. And I just had almost no elevator authority when I first flew this thing. It was like Christmas Day or something years ago. I have crashed this thing no less than a half dozen times. I was able to retrieve one of my pilots, but the other one, regrettably, is in Davy Jones' locker, as they say. Yeah, this thing flies a whole lot better with that old Hobby King orange. Man, oh man. Whole lot better.
Volts.
So in the beautiful banality of day-to-day life, I have a 2007 Whirlpool microwave, and I love it. It works a treat, but
11.1 volts.
but it lives right across the top of the stove, and the bezel got cracked 100 years ago, and I simply never fixed it, and because there was no parts. I say 100 years ago, let's say 2 or 3 years ago. There's just no parts for it. You know,
11.1 volts.
Fun fact, here in the U.S., manufacturers are obliged to keep spare parts for things for, I forget how long, let's say 2 years. And after that, you're on your own. Now, I've never seen this written into law, but I think it's law.
11.1 volts.
So with that said, yeah, Mr. Beazle had long been discontinued before mine broke. It's a perfectly good microwave, and I ain't spending $500 on a microwave that doesn't need to be replaced. That is the kind of dude
11.1 volts.
y'all are listening to, for better or worse. So with that said, I tried double back tape, just to try to keep the thing together, and that didn't work. There's tension on it somehow, and this morning I went ahead and hit either of the edges, see when, with real fine sandpaper and mixed up some epoxy, and I have a really long clamp that I used for two repair problems actually in my rig while I was on the road. They have a special name for it, but we'll call it a rail clamp, and it, that bitch is about 3 feet long. It's amazing. See when? Oh, this thing's a doll. It's just a doll. It's insanity. So yeah, you got that going on. I clamped that bitch, and tomorrow morning I hope it would have held. So we'll know tomorrow. Another little project. I had a leak in my back porch. It's a foam roof over. This is on my pool deck, and I apparently fixed it a long time ago, but there's some discoloration around the where the drip was. I need to sand that and paint it. And then I noticed the other day on my pool deck I had a couple of spots that need to be given the love. Alright, here in a minute I'm going to get a call out that I'm low, so let's get a vector. Yeah, overcast, it'll start to clear. It's going to be like close to 90 in just a few days. We've been enjoying some of the last vestiges of the spring here.
10.8 volts.
I hear that pileated woodpecker out there working. There's no shortage of bugs in our trees. Yeah, I should have put a friggin' gyro in this thing years ago.
10.7 volts.
I'm gonna look at the wind today, and if I feel particularly ambitious, it may behoove me to consider taking the big icon out for a fly. So, alrighty, so let's bring this thing in.
10.9 volts.
We won't put grief on the battery anymore than what we need to. Next up is the Venerable, and let's take this thing up for one more. The Venerable Icon A5.
Low battery.
Yeah, pissed it off.
10.7 volts.
Launching it. Let's do this again. Landing. Said to no one in particular. Okay, it likes to, like a lot of these, turn to the right. I guess it's the torque of the motor.
Throttle hold.
Sea wind. Back again. I'm gonna take the Icon A5 up for a fly. It's 1.3 meters. Really should have brought the Tundra out. I instinctively put 3S batteries on charge when I forget that old Tundi is 4S. Had a nice walk with my lovely wife this morning, hammering out details in reference to our coming road trip. Looks like what we're going to do is stay in Maine through the 4th of July and then move on from there to points west. Yeah, I get nervous. We're hookers, so we like to stay hooked up, right? And I got friends that think nothing of stopping at a harvest host and
12.4 volts.
you know, hanging out there unhooked. And I just, yeah, I like plugging in. We like plugging in. But anyway, need to hammer out some details of where we think we're going to be, because that is very important to us. We're concerned that every swinging yahoo that sprung for a travel trailer is going to be using it this summer.
12.4 volts.
I mean, it was already a little tenuous getting you campsites prior to COVID.
Throttle active. Throttle active.
It's different now. Even worse. Camping, don't tell a friend. Taking off. That's a noisy joker. 3-bladed props. Icon.
12.1 volts.
This thing will fly for, honestly, with a full charge, 15 minutes, easy. They were smart. They matched the motor with the battery and the airframe, and it's insane. Also happy I had the foresight to buy all the parts for it years previously. And literally, there's a fuse, there's a horizontal stabilizer, and these 2 wings.
11.9 volts.
What I should have done though, and I didn't, and I'm glad they used good decals on this thing, is should have bought a decal set. I don't even know if they were available, but I was able to peel every last decal off of here, no worries. And put it on this one. Peel it off the old one, put it on this one. And it doesn't look bad. Had to use some, my wife has these Elmer's glue sticks that second graders use. And I found that it works out actually fairly well. Those things, there's really good use for them. Also, I get excited over adhesives,
11.9 volts.
or as I like to joke, caulks, not cocks, but caulks. And there's one of them that I think is the best, and that's 3M. 3M Marine 5200, in my humble opinion, for most applications is without a doubt the most amazing. It uses water to cure, whereas unfortunately with silicone, your surface has to be unbelievably dry. But additionally, once it decays, and the sun will cause it to decay, it actually becomes a sponge, and it's worse than not having anything at all. It actually causes water to want to get in a crack.
11.8 volts.
The other adhesive that I've been hearing about for years upon years, but just a couple of years ago finally sprung for, is foam tack. That stuff is amazing. You gotta be a little careful with it. If you're going to use it on those, I think Crazy Cub knows all the names of the different foams. There's EPP, EPO, PDQ. Yeah, I don't know the names of all the foams, but the UMX foam, it'll eat it. Probably it was discussed that probably one way around it was to allow the
11.7 volts.
adhesive to cook off its binder, not binder, but cook off the vapors of it before you actually go to use it. Whatever keeps it viscous. But yeah, I'm down to the bottom of a bottle, let's say 1/4 of an ounce. And that made me nervous. I'm like, hey, this is crazy. And, you know, if I don't have to go to a store, I don't. I just order stuff online. And I think our friends at Amazon, 16 bucks, eBay 11, free shipping. It'll be here like in 2 days. You know, I'm not in any hurry. But that damn foam tack is without a doubt, for our hobby, just priceless. Oh, and this morning I missed a few things. So my Blade 130S helicopter is going to go with me on the road. My Ultra Micro Timber will go on the road. My Ultrix, my Edge 32, my Mavic Pro, and my ZMR 250 mini quad that I built 6 years ago. Friggin' love that thing. And then its FPV goggles.
11.6 volts.
And all that will fit, very nearly all that will fit in one side of my hold up underneath my bed in my rig. So I'm actually going to have a free hold for my wife. On the other side. One thing I'm arguing with myself about, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do it, is carry my outboard motor with me and my boat. I've left it in over the last trip of 9.5 months, and rightly so. There was no real cause to use it. But I'm going to be heading up the East Coast into Maine, and then
11.5 volts.
perhaps into the UP of Michigan and areas where there's a lot of lakes. So guess who's coming with Daddy this year? Met my new neighbor lady across the street. I asked her name twice and I forgot it. I'm getting better in general, but I forgot it. And I asked her dog's name and I forgot it too. It was like Gucci, or I swear it was something like that, Gucci, or you know, a $100 purse. 17-year-old Poujon Fusion. I know it ain't a poodle.
11.4 volts.
Beautiful dog, in great shape. For 17, it's crazy. My neighbor Marshall had already told me they're lovely folk. They'd been doing work on their house for about, I don't know, 6 weeks prior to moving in. And she told me, she goes, the no furniture on the bottom floor, the movers actually got in an accident. You know, everybody was 10-4, but they got in a car accident. The movers did. So, gosh. I'm going to call that a good omen, though. Could fly this thing for an hour. Icon. Alrighty, I guess I ought to be thinking about putting all this stuff up, and then the clouds are such that if it doesn't clear, I'm probably not going to carry the big icon down here, because it eats up the sky, and it's like this one, it blends with the sky. But yeah, the big icon probably stay at the house until it clears. Icon. Yeah, I'm gonna put this. It's a little new for me. The Taranis X9D. I never felt like I had to put it on charge all the time. I mean, you could literally go 6 weeks. But this big, beautiful color screen on here, that changes everything. And it's like a 5,000 milliamp battery or something like that. You gotta charge it about once a week. So this one will get charged today, for tomorrow at the club. I'm gonna carry a bunch of goodies out there to the club, do some flying, a little bit of everything. Probably gonna carry the convergence out and do some FPV.
11.2 volts.
And with that, I need to carry a. Actually, I need to go ahead and set it up because I think I pulled the card on it. I have a independent video receiver that lives on a tripod, and I'm gonna use it, I believe, for the convergence. I see an airplane with landing lights coming in at about 300 feet.
11.3 volts.
Twin, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, those new LED lights, man, they're sweet. Yeah, he's coming in to land, and he's 300 feet. It's a single engine. That's why this is not a good FPV place for me. Landing.
11.3 volts.
Flare. Flare. Oh, that was nice. Yeah. Mutsky's got it made out there in Alaska. If I lived in a more rural place, I'd damn sure do long distance FPV like that dude in Mississippi. What's his name? I wonder if he's got a talking to yet. Bonafide pirate. Because the word is there's people trolling the web, dropping a dime. But that dude, he'd fly like 20 miles. And from the, he's smart. He got a little shed out in the backyard of his farmhouse. And he would,
11.2 volts.
he got air conditioning. And he would fly from that point, which is genius. Alrighty, guys. See ya.